This year in Meaning of Love, we talked about the theories of love and how to make love last.
We know about the presence of love, but what about the absence of love?
This film is about unrequited love, how relationships fail to form because one person just isn't feeling it.
And then there's another kind of love, the cruelest kind, the one that almost kills its victims. It's called unrequited love. Of that, I am an expert. Most love stories are about people who fall in love with each other. But what about the rest of us? What about our stories? Those of us who fall in love alone. We are the victims of the one-sided affair. We are the cursed of the loved ones. We are the unloved ones. The walking wounded. The handicapped without the advantage of a great parking space. Yes, you are looking at one such individual. And I have willingly loved that man for over 3 miserable years. The absolute worst years of my life. The worst Christmases, the worst birthdays. New Year's Eves brought in by tears and Valium. These years that I've been in love have been the darkest days of my life. All because I've been cursed by being in love with a man who does not and will not love me back. Oh God, just the sight of him. Heart pounding, throat thickening, absolutely can't swallow. All the usual symptoms.
Carl Rogers, a psychologist known for his belief in self-actualization, thought that receiving love in the form of unconditional positive regard is a crucial key to happiness and adjustment. In contrast, Erich Fromm shifted the emphasis from receiving to giving and proposed that learning the difficult art of loving was the essential thing that promised self-realization, emotional satisfaction, and fulfilling insights. Previous research on love and interpersonal attraction has studied how relationships form, are maintained, and break apart. However, there is little literature about how relationships fail to form. That is the study of unrequited love. According to researchers Baumeister, Watman, and Stilwell, unrequited love offers the ideal chance to separate the two phenomenon, giving and receiving love, because in unrequited love, one person gives love and the other is loved. The stereotype of emotional distress that accompanies unrequited love immediately raises serious questions about the role of love in human fulfillment. Perhaps neither loving nor being loved is enough. Only when they are combined in a mutual relationship is there a significant chance for happiness. The importance of understanding unrequited love will uncover more about relationships as a whole. Ask most anyone, and they will say they have experienced unrequited love. In order to study this phenomenon empirically, Baumeister, Watman, and Stilwell collected stories of unrequited love. These autobiographical accounts contain stories from the perspective of what they called the would-be lover and stories from the perspective of the rejecter. The content of each account was compared with the goal of shedding specific aspects of unrequited love, such as the role of the rejecter, the shortcomings of the would-be lover, the role of attractiveness, the presence of humiliation and guilt, scriptedness, and sex differences. Through their analyses in 2 different studies, they found that strong emotion, such as love, can result in positive or negative consequences. This can affect the way one deals with their social environment, for example. Though love impacts different aspects of life, ranging from close relationships to creating a family, love is also capable of producing profound distress, uncertainty, and disorganization.
According to Laura Guerrero's text on communication in close relationships, rejection, humiliation, and termination of friendship are 3 negative outcomes of unrequited love as experienced by who we will refer to as the pursuer or would-be lover. The rejected individuals then make choices to either keep feeling secret or persist to make the relationship a possibility, at least hypothetically, which can ultimately lead to idealizing the relationship instead of accepting it for what it really is. According to their 1982 study on unrequited love, Steck, Leviton, McLean, and Kelly say that the would-be lover's preoccupation with his or her needs, wants, desires, and feelings make him or her ironically blind to what the rejecting partner is experiencing and may include ignoring unwelcome messages.
Don't you want to marry me?
I'm going to marry Melanie.
But you can't, not if you care for me.
Oh, my dear, why must you make me say things that will hurt you? How can I make you understand? You're so young and unthinking. You don't know what marriage means.
I know I love you and I want to be your wife. You don't love Melanie.
Kelly and Tybo's interdependence theory of 1978 states that analyzed human relations in terms of how each person's outcomes depends on the other's actions. Behavioral outcomes when the lover loves someone who doesn't love them are 1, silence, or 2, trying to win the other's love. Many times, the rejector expresses rejection in ways that fail to get the message across. The would-be lover's reluctance to hear the rejection then results in persistence because the message of unshared feelings wasn't explicit enough.
That's so sweet. Sweetest. Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Oh. Anyways, I came over here. I was looking for you. I wanted to invite you to my party. I don't know if you want to come tonight.
Yes.
Maybe? Yeah.
I would love to.
Great. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yay. Thank you.
That's very exciting.
As for new findings on the matter of the pursuer's experience of unrequited love, in the past 5 years, subjects had averaged 1.07 powerful experiences of loving someone who did not return the love, 1.86 moderate attractions of that type, and 3.66 casual attractions or passing crushes. 92.8 reported at least one powerful or moderate experience of unrequited love, and lastly, 1.76 incidents reported in which someone was powerfully attracted to them. There are also a few key gender differences. Women were more likely to say that the rejector led the lover on at some point, and were more likely to affirm that they had changed in a negative way as a result of the experience. Women also reported the would-be lover experience as more painful than men did, and rated their experiences as rejectors to be more characterized as emotional roller coasters than men did. Men had more would-be lover experiences to report, which affirms research that says that men fall in love more readily and are more likely to accept a date.
I had never seen anything so beautiful in my life. She was like an angel.
We're gonna sit down, aren't you?
Unrequited love reveals the scope of vulnerability, which appears to involve self-esteem along with emotional distress. To love is to put one's self-esteem at risk.
Research shows that people often reciprocate positive feelings in evaluations that they receive from others. But how do they respond when those feelings are of a romantic nature and the attraction isn't mutual?
That's why I think it's time for us. Elle. Pooh Bear.
Yes.
I think we should break up.
What?
When lovers pursue someone who does not share their feelings of affection, the object of love may feel angry, annoyed, and frustrated, or may be wary of having to inflict emotional pain on the lover. The object of this affection has to make a decision, lead the lover on, or reject the lover.
You know, there's nothing I couldn't give you. There's nothing I'd deny you. If you would not deny me. Oh, open your heart to me, Rose.
Part of what makes instances of unrequited love so uncomfortable for rejectors is that there is a lack of social scripts for them. The media and modern Western culture often focuses on the lover's side of unrequited love stories, and sometimes even depicts the rejector as the villain of the situation.
I just can't marry you. You have no idea the pressure that I am under. My family has 5 generations of senators. My brother's in the top 3 at Yale Law. And he just got engaged to a Vanderbilt, for Christ's sake.
One interesting finding from the studies of Baumeister et al. Was that people reported being the rejector much more frequently than they reported being the lover. On average, participants reported roughly 6 experiences of unrequited attraction to someone in the last 5 years, but they felt that during that same time span, they had been the object of someone else's affections on 14 different occasions. In regard to gender differences, researchers found that men were more likely to blame themselves for what transpired, whether they were the rejector or the would-be lover. They also found that women reported more instances in which their pursuer thought that his affections were reciprocated, when they in fact were not.
Because of popular literature and film, we often see unrequited love from the viewpoint of the pursuer or the would-be lover.
But with further investigation, we found that the rejecter experience isn't all that's cracked up to be either.
Unfortunately, unrequited love is the kind of love where no one wins. However, psychological research has proven that people learn from their past relationship experiences and grow from them.